is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good evening, boys and girls. It is a good evening, isn't it? It's 9:59. We're on the air. We're ready to rock and roll. And yeah, the Dolphins fell short. Not that it's about the score. It's about the celebration of football. We got a little post-game show action with you. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, appreciate it. Got my Dolphin notes ready to go. Watch plenty of the action today. Watch Skyler Thompson lock it down, baby. Wow. Man. You know, we have a Lenny Locksmith here where there's called a lockdown segment. We have that. And when we talk about locking things down, I got to say that my man, Skyler Thompson, is locking things down, okay? Because you got to give that man props. He looks good, all right? Skyler Thompson, I've already told you that he locked a spot on the 53-man roster this past week, and today was just a culmination of everything. Skyler went 9 of 10, 129 yards and a touchdown. And you think about, I remember I talked about this in the pregame today. Sneaky good draft. Okay. Channing Tindall, 6 tackles. You look at Ezukama, 6 receptions, 114 yards, and a one-hander just for the hell of it. Okay. You look at Skyler Thompson, and here he goes, 9 of 10, 129 yards and a touchdown. You look at Cameron Good, 5 tackles. All your draft picks. Like, this was one of the worst drafts in years. And I'm talking about, like, in the amount of picks that you had there later on, all of that. Well, think about this. Your third and your fourth rounders are going to make it, and your 2 7th-rounders are going to make it. It's really ridiculous, that draft class, you know. And as I told you when they drafted Skyler Thompson, and then throughout, the idea was if they can groom him to be a backup quarterback next year, when they lose Teddy Bridgewater, they now have a guy that can take over. And Skyler has a little more athleticism to him, so maybe you can run some wildcat with him, those kind of things. You can do some things with him that you probably wouldn't try with Tua. Plus, he's got the strongest arm out of the 3 guys. So now you've got a Hail Mary quarterback also. For the end of a half, the end of a game, you got a guy that can heave it 75 yards downfield with no problem. You know what I'm saying? So Skyler's also got a nice little arm there. He's got a whip. And that touch pass that he threw to Zaquandre White, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that it gave you another sense. Remember earlier in the game, he had a guy that was draping on him where he had to throw it right in the middle of the field, and he was able to complete that pass. So he has shown you deep balls. He has shown you tight window throws. He's shown you traffic throws, and then he shows you the touch throws. I mean, the kid really has been an absolute find. You got this front office. Too many of you have been fed a lot of FUD when it comes to Chris Greer and company. And the problem that I've kept saying about all of this is that you have obstacles in your way, and Chris Greer has to clear those obstacles. And he did with Gase and Tannenbaum, but the problem was he made the wrong hire with Flo, and then he had a coach that then wanted to become the personnel director. And so he had to fight a guy to try to please him also, because you want to help your coach in the process. You know what I'm saying? And now that you leave him and Marvin Allen and Reggie McKenzie to do their thing, hey, look, Porter Gustin, man. Like, guy's making plays. The Ben Stille guy making plays. You just start looking around, and I don't need to mention Zach Sealer because he's already been here. But you start looking at some of the new names in the mix. And these are guys that are now also doing some stuff and helping. Hey, Braylon Sanders. Braylon Sanders today had 3 receptions for 40 yards. I keep telling folks that Braylon Sanders is going to make the practice squad. Another guy. So, it's a beautiful thing. True Fin fan, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. True Fin fan, let me give True Fin fan a little love there. There we go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. But there's a lot of things to enjoy today with the game, because it's a foundational type of thing. Offensively, and we'll get into the first team, and I've got plenty of thoughts on all of that. But I just thought we got to give Skyler some love today, man. We got to give him the props that he deserves, because he's put himself in this position. We got to give the front office for the Miami Dolphins a lot of props, because they found this kid. And look, tomorrow I'm going to watch the Philly game just because I want to see Reed Sinnett. He played well last week. He actually took him for a touchdown, whereas Minshew didn't. And it's going to be hard for him to beat Gardner Minshew, of course. But still, it shows you that he's in that mix. And last year, Reed kind of impressed all of us, didn't he? With the way he played and his awareness in the pocket and things like that. And now they found another guy, but this time they're more in control of the roster. And that's what changes now, ladies and gentlemen, that the people in the personnel department are going to have a little bit more control of the roster. So that's going to help out. And in a decision like this one, when we're talking about, which player to keep, this is one that I think you're going to end up keeping. Juice 5, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you for supporting us as always. Chase Barrett, thank you, sir. Run blocking is a concern. Love everything else, though. Let's do that now. Let's work our way from Skyler over to the offensive line. And let's talk about some of the issues with the offensive line. Pass blocking was good. Really enjoyed watching them in their pass blocking. I thought they did a fantastic job overall. Run blocking, well, that was a problem. That was a problem. Now, first, let me elaborate a little bit more on the pass blocking. Larnell Coleman struggles again, had the offsides that really killed him on that drive. And he still doesn't look like the guy you want as a swing tackle. And that might be a problem for the Miami Dolphins is who is your swing tackle? Because that's kind of the concern you have now. And Larnell has had a lot of playing time while Teron Armstead is out. But I will say this, the starting guys and even the backup guys at times, including Larnell. Larnell had some moments where he did do his job in pass blocking. I will give him some credit there, but overall, not good enough. He still made too many mistakes. But the starters and even for the backups, there were many times where they gave their quarterback a lot of time to pass, a lot of time to make decisions. So I like that part of the game because last year they were an absolute sieve, and it was a problem. Now, let me explain why that's a bonus, and then let me explain why there might be a little bit more explanation on the running game to help you out just a little bit more. Okay, so now let's go to the negative side of it. The running game was piss poor. I mean, let's they ran 18 times for 37 yards. 2 yards a carry. That's dog shit. Okay? That is absolutely unacceptable. Now, what I will tell you is that Teron Armstead wasn't in there. And a lot of times when you have your left tackle out, it takes everything out of balance. So your left guard now has to kind of make up for it because he doesn't have the left tackle there. And then your center has to kind of make up for what's going on the left side, and there's disruption there. By the way, Connor Williams, pretty clean overall. There was a snap where one that was a little bit high, but overall, he did a really good job today with the snapping. But my point is, once you get Teron Armstead back, it settles your left guard, it settles your center, it settles your line. You might end up becoming slightly better in the running game because you might end up leaning more to the left side with Connor and with Armstead and along with your left guard, whether it's Eichenberg or somebody else. Then you'll get some push and hopefully you'll work that side. They were actually working Austin Jackson's side. And Austin, by the way, again, did a very good job in pass pro, but in run blocking, everybody pretty much failed today. It was one of those things. Now, without Teron Armstead, that's the bonus that I was about to tell you, right? While there's a negative that with Teron Armstead, there is a trickle-down effect affecting your run game. At the same time, without Teron Armstead, they did at times pretty well in pass pro. So I will give them that. You've got to separate the two a little bit here. But was it good enough? No. But there were plenty of times that all three quarterbacks could say they had time to scan the field and make a decision. So I give them a little love there. Running game, that was one that was hurting big freaking time. All right, let's get ready. Our first insider is ready to step into the fray. Alain Poupart in our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report now.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alain Poupart. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alain Poupart.
Is the man, the myth, the legend that is Alain Poupart. Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Doing great. Yourself?
Very good. Okay, it's over now, right? Skyler Thompson, you're done now, right? He's on the 53 already, right? It's now over, correct? There's no doubt now, right? We've been going back and forth now for the last 2 weeks on this.
No,
last week he's on there. Now, officially?
90. I'm up to 93%. How's that? Oh man, he had back-to-back throws on that last drive to Izukama. Man, those were sweet. Right over the defender. I mean, nice.
And the touch pass to Zigwandre, because we've watched him throw it deep. We've watched him throw it in tight windows. We've watched touch passes. the pass he threw in the middle of the field where it was in traffic, that he had a guy that was draping on his left side. So he's playing with traffic, which playing with traffic is something that probably is not going to be the starter's strength, by the way. That's not really what you want with Tua. You need to keep him more clean to kind of get away with those kind of things. So Skyler has shown you different types of passes. And I think that's also incredibly important. That touch pass he put to Saquandre, it may seem like a really easy pass, and it's not in that moment to float it like that and lead the player in that moment. I got to give him credit, man. He's been awesome. Awesome.
No, I mean, yeah, no question about it. I mean, that's like, and it was like, okay, what's he do? What's he do for an encore after what he did against Tampa Bay last week? And he was even better than he was last week. Yeah. And of course, yes, we have to mention again, it was the fourth quarter of a preseason game against a team that left like 30 players back in Vegas. That's fine. Doesn't change the fact, like you said, what he did on that touch pass to Zaquandre White, which certainly wasn't the first read, was really impressive. No. And those two throws, 25 yards downfield over a defender, I mean, we're big time. I don't care who he's playing against. So,
amen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you can see from the guy. So now I'm up to 97.
Yeah,
and of course, I'm talking to you for 2 minutes. I'm up to 97 now.
Yeah, it's impossible to release him at this point because you know you're going to lose him in a quarterback-starved league. Seattle and Carolina will pick him up because they have to pick him up because it's only responsible for them to take him because they have to try since they don't really have, really something that you can really lean on overall. So especially Seattle, my God, Geno Smith, really, that's where you're going. Well, that's kind of like playing Curtis Painter and you're just going for the Andrew Luck pick. That's kind of what you're doing right there. Ezukama, we already had him pegged as the fourth or fifth wide receiver, however you want to look at Trent Sherfield and him. But my God, that is amazing, isn't it?
No, the dude can play. I mean, and you see like the one of those catches on one of those long passes, there's like five guys around him trying to tackle him. The dude will not go down. And then the concentration he had to have on that first one, down the right sideline where it went through the defender and he caught it. Basically, he's got only one arm free and it wound up hitting him in his chest and he's able to corral it. I mean, I mean, he's an impressive kid too. But here's the thing though, is they have, I mean, Sherfield is impressing the hell out of me. I mean, you're out at practice every day at practice, the guy shines.
And their fourth and fifth wide receivers are capable wide receivers. Like you've got your five deep. You're legit five deep now on this team. You have when McDaniel wants to scheme stuff, he can scheme all five guys and keep them active because he can use all of them if he wants to. And as long as some of them help him out on special teams, which I would imagine Ezukama and Sherfield will help out, on special teams. Now, this is what's also developing. And this is why, and you're a draft geek like I am. Sneaky good draft, doggy. Channing Tindall, Cameron Good, Skyler Thompson, okay, Ezukama. Like in a draft where you didn't have picks.
No, correct.
You hit on all of them. That's
well,
pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Cameron Good made this team. Cameron Good made this team.
Oh, I agree. No, I agree with you. No, he made another big time play, like another tackle for after a 1 yard gain in the open field. Tyndall didn't do a whole lot tonight.
But he had 6 tackles. He was active.
Also, I saw him miss like a tackle in the open field that resulted in a much bigger game than it should have been. I mean, I thought he was really good against Tampa. I didn't feel him tonight. Your 2 7th rounders are going to make the team, and they look like they got something. And for a 7th round pick, that's impressive. To nail one, looks like they got 2 of them. And Ezukama, I think we've already established, is a pretty damn good player. So,
third and fourth rounders for sure, man. I mean, yeah, Tyndall's going to make some mistakes, but he has his positive moments too at the same time. In other words, they all look like capable players. You know what I mean? They don't look lost at all. They look pretty damn good overall. And then we start looking at Porter Gustin, Ben Still. These are guys that all is it Stilly? Is it Stilly?
I'm not even sure, but and he's looked good. He's made a lot of plays. I don't think there's going to be room for him on the 53, even though he's made plays. Gustin I've liked from the start of camp. I mean, every game the dude's in the backfield.
I don't know how he doesn't make the team.
I got him making the team. I mean, he's going to take Adam Butler's place. As your sixth defensive lineman, however you want to categorize it.
All right, so let's go with the starters, because as you say, because we have to talk about the quarterbacks.
We do.
As you put in your article every day. Tua Tagovailoa, I thought did all right. I don't think
solid. He was solid.
Yeah, he was solid. I thought all right, and I like the fact, which is one of the things that I think is going to develop in his. It's not develop. I think it's going to show more in his game, because I think he has it, the craftiness. That he's going to find ways to buy time and make a play and stretch it out. And he was able to do that a couple times today. And I think that's going to be an element that people are going to notice. And by the way, just to kind of give, while they sucked in run blocking, many times the offensive line did a really good job of pass pro. And they sometimes they gave these guys time to smoke a cigar back there. Yep. I was impressed with that part. I thought that was all right, but your thoughts first of all on Tua.
No question. No, I thought he did a perfectly fine job. I thought he was very solid. I mean, the dude was 6 for 8, and if you look at the 2 incompletions, one's a naked bootleg where somebody doesn't bite and he's in his face immediately, and he has no choice but to chuck it into the ground, and the other one's a third down to Gesicki, where Gesicki didn't turn around quickly enough, and the ball just went right by him. I'm going to guess. I don't know. I mean, obviously there's some miscommunication there. My thought from where I sit is Gesicki needed to turn his head around.
Yeah, so, he had to know that he was the hot read.
Correct. So that's not on Tua. So and every other pass was a completion. I like the
and by the way, I went back to look at it. It looked like everybody was covered at that moment when he released it. That he didn't have a guy that was open at that moment when he let it to Gesicki. That was his best option, actually. But
and it looked like it was on target if Gesicki had turned around.
Right.
And the third down completion to Edmonds, I liked a lot, because, like you said, he didn't panic. He just kept the play alive. The pass protection was outstanding, and then eventually was able to find Edmonds in the open and turn that into, I don't know what it was, like a 12-yard gain. So no, I thought he did very well, actually.
Teddy Bridgewater, what'd you think? It was kind of an up and down thing, right? He missed a couple throws, but he had a couple throws too. So it was one of those things where I thought he did a decent job. Your thoughts on how he did?
Well, he was okay. His numbers are if you look at his numbers are really bad. It's like 10 for 20 for 102 yards. Passer ratings 68. I don't think that is reflective of the way he played. There was one pass in the end zone. I wish I had the privilege of having a really good close-up shot on the replay when he went to Braylon Sanders in the end zone.
Oh, yes.
I saw the replay 3 times. I still can't tell whether it hit Sanders' chest first or the Raiders DB got his hand on it. I think it hit Sanders' chest first.
Okay, I thought the DB got a hand on it. That's why.
Before it got to Sanders?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I couldn't tell, and obviously that's a tough one. He did have the one nice floater to Sanders for about 28 yards. That was a good throw. Bad play on the safety. He's got to get rid of the ball, even though Gesicki is the one who blew up the play by missing the block immediately. But still, when Teddy was
it's awareness. He's got to know, dude, I'm not athletic. I can't outrun people. That's never been his game. So he's super smart. He's got to get rid of it, bro.
No, that's correct. And he was outside the tackle. He was outside the tackle box. He should know better that he could have just chucked it at that point and it would have been fine, instead of waiting until he's getting dragged to the ground. That was a bad play. But outside of that, it was not terrible, not great.
Can I tell you something? As the trajectory is going, if Skyler continues to improve, you're going to be able to trade Teddy by the deadline if somebody needs him, and you'll be able to pick up a pick, and you can. And their plan of Skyler being the number 2, well, because right now you can almost say, yeah, Skyler might be challenging Teddy a little bit for that backup job, because you can do some things with Skyler that you won't be able to do with Teddy.
Yeah, important point to be made though here is you and I well know that once the regular season starts, those defenses are gonna get a hell of a lot more complicated for a rookie to read. So that becomes the tricky part.
Although this dude looks a little different. He's got a little something to him, because you don't do what he does without having a little something to you that there's some extra confidence there. This kid's got something in him, man, because I don't know, you don't play like this if you don't just have what it takes, and that's what it seems like to me. I don't think it's a guy on a hot hand right now, put it that way.
I don't disagree with you, but I think it's dangerous right now to just go crazy, because defenses tend to be very vanilla in the preseason.
For sure.
They're gonna mess with his head, as they do with every rookie once the regular season starts. So
as I said,
understand what you're saying, but
I said, trajectory. If the season continues,
correct.
And he's killing it in the classroom, and he's killing it in practice, and they feel really good, kind of like what they, again, this is like a completely ridiculous comparison, so I'm saying that ahead of time, but it's kind of like KC when they said, no, there's a Mahomes kid. Yeah, we got him. He was raw, but after a year, we're comfortable. We're going to move Alex Smith away, and we're going to move on. That kind of stuff, but at the secondary level, saying, you know what, this guy's good enough that he can be a backup right now. We can move on from Teddy and get at least a draft pick for him. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying, that if he can get good enough to that point that you can feel good enough, because in the end, you're going to lose Teddy at the end of the year. Right.
He's only got a 1-year contract. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. And this is where maybe at some point, I don't know, who knows, October, maybe he takes second team reps if they like what they've seen from him in the classroom, and things to that effect. And if there's a situation that arises around the NFL where a team that could be a contender with a decent quarterback and their starter goes down, like Bridgewater could be a good stopgap for that kind of team.
Yeah, no doubt. Nick Needham, finger injury, looks like it. So I don't think that's not something, brother. It looked like they straightened it out right there and then, right? It looked like they pulled it right there. I don't know if you noticed it in the video. It looked like they were, but either way, that shouldn't be that serious. But then Crossan gets banged up, but he was able to come back. So that's all right. Iggy did not look good again, getting killed on those crossing routes overall. What did you see from the secondary? Because again, a lot of young guys get a lot of playing time since the 2 studs are out.
No, and you forgot to mention Alexander also one play went down. Like he looked like he was holding his groin. I don't know if he went back in the game. I don't believe he did. Crossan went back, and it looked like a helmet to helmet where maybe he just got dazed. And to me, with Igbinoghene, it's not even so much the crosser that bothered me, even though he plays those really loose, so it's easy for the guy to get in front of him, because those are a bitch to cover. There was a slant, the 18-yard slant he gave up on the first drive. I mean, the cushion he's giving those guys, man, that's rough. I like the Kahu kid. I mean, the only thing about him, though, and I've noticed him at practice, he's really, really handsy. And so Sam and Pat have to get on him that he's got to know what he can get away with and what he can't. He got flagged for a defensive holding today, even though if you look at the replay, the receiver had his hand on Kahu's face mask almost at the time when the ref's throwing the flag. So that may have been a bad flag, but I've noticed the kid in practice, kid can play, even though he was
I'm with you. I like him. Yeah, he looks interesting, and he might be one of those guys that might develop into something as a backup. The only thing, maybe he's handsy because he's not also a big guy, so he kind of is trying to be a little bit more physical because he has to make up for his lack of size. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the only thing I can guess, but there's no doubt the pass breakup was really heads up on his part and shows athleticism too. I'm with you. He's one of those guys that could be. He's probably going to end up maybe earning a back end roster spot here.
It wouldn't surprise me in the least. The problem he's going to have is like with Noah, for example, is Noah's tough to cut because I was looking at his salary thing, and because of his contract situation set up in the prorated bonus, it actually costs the Dolphins cap space if they wind up cutting him.
I don't think they're going to cut him anyways. I think they're going to keep him for another year to try to, because they invested a first rounder in him. So I still think they're going to try to keep him for one more year and try to work him with this coaching staff and see what ends up happening one more year. But he has, this week was his, like I was hoping that we'd see a little more today, because this past week, the play with Tyreek Hill, the interception with Teddy for the touchdown, those were like good building block moments this week. And you're hoping that he can, take those little steps and get there. But tonight there was nothing. Did you find something positive for him? Because I didn't see anything.
No, not tonight. And you know what I can't help but think is that what's happened in the past when he's gotten burned is double moves where he gets beat deep. And now I almost see a guy who's so scared of being beat by a double move that he's playing way off guys, and they're getting completions in front of him way too easily. And I'm not sure I agree with you. I think if it wasn't for the financial considerations, if it was purely from a football standpoint, I think he'd be in big trouble for his spot on the 53.
Is Durham Smythe catching up to Mike Gesicki?
Durham Smythe's ahead of Mike Gesicki. That's no. In fact, I had my writer Dante write a story basically with that suggestion. Look at the last couple of years, by the way. Smythe has started more games than Gesicki. If you go strictly by starts, even though Gesicki winds up playing more snaps. And I don't think there's any question in my mind that Smythe's going to wind up playing more snaps this year. No, I know it's completely.
You've got to keep him guessing, and if he can prove he can catch, then at least the defense knows. Oh yeah, no, he's not just a blocker. We got to be careful with him, and that's what you need, because you can't go line up and say, oh, he can't block. He's definitely going to pass catch. Oh, he can't catch. He's definitely going to block. So, and that's what Smythe has kind of erased since he got into the league. Oh, he's a blocker. They drafted him for blocking. All of a sudden now he shows you that he can be a competent pass catcher.
I like him as a pass catcher. I mean, he's not going to get 20 yards downfield, but you throw it to him, he's going to catch it. I don't recall any egregious drops from the guy. And he can block. And what happened with Gesicki, and the way they're using Gesicki is kind of telling to me. I mean, the dude was in the game like early in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That's very telling. I mean, I had like somebody suggest they're showcasing him. No, people around the league know what he is and know what he can do. So you don't need to showcase him. If teams want to talk to the Dolphins about the possibility of a trade, they know what they're getting in Gesicki. And I think we can forget about the idea of him ever becoming a good blocker, because that naked bootleg, I mean, the guy got by him in 2 seconds and that killed the play.
Yeah. Although there was one play where Smythe was blocking and he got walloped and sent back on one of those plays. They still gained yards. They still were able to gain yards, but he definitely took a hit. All right. Any final thoughts on tonight's matchup that I may have left out?
No, I like the decision to play Tua. I like the decision to keep out Tyreek Hill. I like the decision to keep out the personnel use was good. There's no reason to play Mostert. No reason whatsoever. So that was very wise from that part. The running game completely sucks. Again, but how much of that?
No, I talked about this before you came on, and I'll ask if you agree with me on this. There's a positive to it today. When you lose your left tackle, it creates an imbalance for the line all of a sudden. The left guard isn't a stud right now, so then that puts him at a tough spot to then deal with Larnell. And then the center has to worry about the left side also. So then that creates a problem for you in your running game. But on the flip side, without him in the pass pro, they were able to overcome and do a solid job tonight in pass protection. So I am hoping that the running game gets slightly better when you do get Teron Armstead. So next week will be a nice test when you do the dress rehearsal, that hopefully, I'm not saying you'll have a running game, because that's going to take a while to develop on this team, I expect. But at least maybe you can start having some semblance of success on the left side, because you can go from Connor to Teron Armstead. Agree or disagree on that?
Well, 2 quick points. Number one, I'm not convinced that tonight wasn't your dress rehearsal. I would tell you, I would be inclined to think more than 50-50, you're not seeing any frontline players next week. That's
okay.
Especially after 2 days. Okay.
I think
especially after 2 days of joint practices with the Eagles. That's my prediction. Number two, if we talk about defenses being very vanilla in the preseason, I'm thinking that the Dolphin running game has been very vanilla as well, where they're running very basic running plays, more like straight ahead, off tackle, and not necessarily doing the stretching that they will do a lot of in the regular season. So I think that may play a part in the fact that they've run so poorly.
All right, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Why don't you bookmark alldolphins.com there for Sports Illustrated, because that's what every Dolphin fan should do. That's the Bible right there every day. He writes about 87 articles a day. He is Alain Poupart. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL and catch him twice a week doing his thing right here. Alain, have a terrific night, my friend. I appreciate you.
Right back at you, bud.
There you go. That is your Sports Grill Miami Dolphins post-game report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alain Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th, and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
See here. Fin Fan, True Fin Fan says, I agree on everything you say. Oh, but Tua is not the guy. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. But I am convinced Tua is the guy. So we shall see. Time will explain all. Time will tell all. That's the beautiful thing. One more thing I do have to tell you. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, folks. All right. Congratulations to Inter Miami. They ended up beating Toronto 2-1. How about that, dude? That is awesome for Inter Miami. And we end up going 28-14-1 in our liquor split matchup of the night. Sean, did somebody say, when they asked me, do you think Miami was going to get the 7th spot? Did somebody say, no, Miami's going to get the 5th or the 6th spot? Somebody say that? Did somebody say that? Yeah. They've got the 5th spot right now with 36 points. Columbus is number 6 with 34, and New England with 34. How about that? Go watch yourself some terrific football. Inter Miami. I know this is the Dolphin Post-game Show, but I'm a hometown guy, baby. I want everything local to do well. So just congratulations to Inter Miami, man. That is just absolutely freaking cool that they've put themselves in that position. So nice of them to fight back after all the adversity and everything going on. All right, here we go. What do we have on the chat board here? Victor Huertas is saying, big O thoughts on Iggy. We talked about it. He's lost, unfortunately. It's just, there's nothing there, man. There's nothing there. It's just, it is what it is. Now, here's the thing that I also want to do, because, the problem with Dolphin fans, and I'm not saying you, Victor, but overall, I want to do something here really quick for you, because, this is already, it gets to a point where it's kind of ridiculous. So the draft this year, Channing Tindall, Eric Ezukama, Cameron Good, Skyler Thompson, looks like you may have hit on all four. Last year, you hit on Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland. Liam Eichenberg is out. We don't know yet. Hunter Long, we don't know yet. Larnell Coleman doesn't look good, and Jared Dokes doesn't look good. 20, Tua is now looking like the guy that he can justify the pick. Austin Jackson is now turning the corner overall. Noah is not. Rob Hunt is. Raekwon David is. Brandon Jones is. Solomon Kinley is starting to look a little better. Maybe he can turn into a backup lineman or a starter if he can challenge Liam Eichenberg. Strobridge, Weaver, Ferguson, Perry, gone, whatever. Then before that, you had Christian Wilkins, Michael Dieter. Michael Dieter, by the way, is actually doing a nice job as a backup there. But again, you'd rather have him as a starter. Van Ginkel, not bad. Gaskin has been a terrific pick. Isaiah Prince and Chandler Cox, okay. But if you start looking overall at these drafts, they've been hitting on most of them. So if you want to just harp on Noah, it's like if you hit on Tua and Austin Jackson and Rob Hunt and Raekwon Davis and Brandon Jones, and if Solomon Kinley turns into a backup, it's a hell of a draft. So Noah, yeah, man, it's a disappointment. The kid can't turn the corner. And he had a couple of nice moments this week, and I'm hoping that he could build on it. But he showed me nothing today. But don't allow, or don't be short-sighted and think that that's the only thing, and then focus on the negative when there's a shit ton of positive stuff. Let me see. I go through my notebook today, and if you want to live in the negative, you can live in the negative. I thought Tua did a solid job overall. I like what he did. I love what I keep seeing from Trent Sherfield. I think Edmonds looked really good overall. And once you get the blocking scheme, once they start putting in the real blocking scheme and you get Teron Armstead, I think he's going to look fantastic. And I think Mostert will be awesome overall. I love what I'm seeing from Braylon Sanders. I love what I'm seeing from Skyler Thompson. I love what I'm seeing from Ben Still. Duke Riley came off the bench, had a nice moment there. Porter Gustin doing well. There's a lot of things to actually love. Ezukama put on an effing show today. Cameron Good tells me, okay, now you picked up yourself a better linebacker on the back end overall. I mean, there's Hunter Long actually showed up today with a couple of catches. There's a lot of things to be positive. I get it. Hey, maybe the Cater Kohu kid who is showing you a little something, maybe he becomes the guy. I don't know. Nick Needham came out of nowhere. So just because you don't find maybe the starter in a draft pick and it doesn't work out, doesn't mean you can't find somebody else, like a Zach Sealer who can help you out and become one hell of a player for you, like a Nick Needham who can become one hell of a player for you and you get him off the street. There's a lot of good things going on today. And to be, I get it. Noah's a disappointment. But to use Noah as the crutch for your entire night, I ain't got time for that. True Fin fan, you are a beast, bro. Thank you, sir. We have kicked ass drafting with you. Drafting to free agency to how the contracts have been done. Yeah. I think it's a great front office. And I've said this for a couple of years now that the Dolphins will prove to have a great front office. Sean, do we have Mike McDaniel yet? Do we have the man, the myth, the legend that is Mike McDaniel? Yes.
He went on the same time you brought Alain on. I'm trying to get everything done so I can get it up.
Okay. All right. So we're going to play Mike McDaniel for you in a couple minutes here so we can go over the coach's comments. Appreciate all of you out there. Remember, you can also make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show is the address at Cash App or Venmo. Juan Castillo, thank you, sir. And remember, you can also reach out on Twitter at Big O Show and email Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. Let's see what we got here. We got something coming in on the Venmo. Thank you, Greg. He says, if they can't figure out the run blocking, this team can be dangerous. Love the show. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. And I think they will figure out. See, it's also what Poupart said right now was that they're not doing anything. They're so vanilla right now that they're not really showing you what they can do. And without Teron Armstead, that's also, that's also a big problem for the offensive line. Gilbert Martinez. And the sticker doesn't translate over to the screen, but thank you. It says hiya. Appreciate you, Gilbert. And with the super sticker, thank you, sir. Run stopping scares me, I'm hoping we're able to stop the run better than last year. Yes. And I think we will hopefully see a little better. The problem is, see, Chad, I don't see them with a thumper in the middle yet. And that's going to be something that they've got like part-time guys that have been in that position. And that's the thing. That's the difference. Eddie Valson, thank you, sir. Some love on the Venmo. Appreciate you, Eddie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very nice. Always appreciate the support, man. On behalf of Sean and myself, we can't say enough. Chase Barrett says, I think it's concerning that run blocking is so bad that the play action is worse than regular pass blocking. Tua constantly rolling out into the edge defender. Actually, I thought the quarterbacks overall had a good amount of time to pass. Pass blocking wasn't really a problem today, but run blocking it's an issue. There's no doubt. I think Rob can thump, but I don't want him anywhere near coverage. Yes, you are correct. True Fin Fan says our front office is doing really well. Fitzpatrick, the Holland, Skyler, Waddle, Phillips, we're close. Tua, not confident in the guy, but if we keep drafting this way, it's only a matter of time. Well, you'll get confident in Tua once you see him play long enough, and he'll make plays like he normally has throughout his career. First in-person game in years, Leon Fresco says. They need traffic cops very badly, and they need much better handicap parking for seniors. But go Fins. Leon, thank you for the love on the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Big O, you're not at all concerned at the inconsistency in the offense, including practice? No. Because they haven't played with the entire offense together yet. They're not game planning at all. And I'm seeing more offensive success and structure than I ever did under Flo last year. You get what I'm saying? I'm watching young players play well. I'm watching Tua make lots of plays in practice. Are they there in the running game? No, not yet. Did you expect that to happen already? Is that fair? Are you expecting to have an offense that is fine-tuned by the second week of the preseason? I'm sorry, man. The difference between you and me is if I'm expecting them to be humming and running the ball and everything, I think it's going to be about halfway through the year. I don't expect them to be perfect for a while. They've got to figure stuff out, man. Solomon Kinley may end up starting for you. Robert Jones may end up starting for you. I don't know. I have no idea. Things may end up changing, or maybe they start off right from the get-go and I'm wrong, but I would imagine that it's going to take them a little bit to kind of get this thing going. And remember what you had last year. You didn't have any dude, Skyler Thompson looks good. Yeah, I mean, you had a whole bunch of injured wide receivers last year. I disagree with you. I am seeing more on Austin Jackson is playing well. Let me repeat that again. Austin Jackson is playing well. Can I repeat it again? Austin Jackson is playing well. I mean, there's progress, man. Is it perfect? Of course not. But I don't want to go back to where I was last year. I'm happy where this team is at right now in the direction, the trajectory. I like it. Boss B, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, Sean, just left the Kumite CCW show in Pompano. Had almost a backyard wrestling vibe. Had portable spotlight duct tapes to the cage. It was good. I love how the wrestling community is growing here. All right, let's do it. Let's check out the coach. There we go. And get my ugly ass out of this. Audio-wise, here is Mike McDaniel.
He executed the really everything that we asked him to do. He was his ownership.
Tua did play some of the key offensive starters. Teron Armstead, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill did. Obviously, Teron and I guess Jalen have been kind of sidelined a bit. But I mean, I guess at this point in the preseason, do you expect them to play at all in the finale? And I guess just what is your level of concern with not having all those guys and kind of the preseason setting?
No, it's the same thing that it's the imperfect situation that is the preseason for the game of football. You're trying to balance getting guys prepared and not putting them at risk in an exhibition. So with each player, it's kind of case by case. I hadn't planned on. I didn't really know what I was going to do with Tua, and I hadn't planned on making a decision until the last second. He kind of helped me with that. But you have to assess each and every player for where they're at in the offense, within and really in the defense. You really have to just assess everyone where they're at and how much they need that preseason so they can feel 100% full go against the Patriots. And I think I'll continue to do that through the Philly week and for the Philly game.
What are you seeing from Skyler now compared to when you first got here during rookie camp?
Man, he just gets better every day. That's I think he like this game the operation was better. There was one time that he kind of lost the play clock a little bit, and we had to burn timeout. But more than anything, he really had command over everything, and he's starting to make plays that, when one or two aren't there, feeling the concept, and like that touchdown they threw to Z White in the on the left-hand side. That's something that Skyler doesn't make, at the beginning of preseason. So I've seen continued improvement, but he's very diligent about the process. He's got the makeup of what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. So I think all of his teammates could feel that too.
It was a cool video that they showed on CBS where Tua was, I don't know if you noticed, he was out on the field by himself at 2:30 in the afternoon, kind of visualizing things. He had a play sheet, he was going through what he was going to do before the snap, during the snap, after everything. What do you think that says about where he is relative to his, knowledge of the offense and his desire to gain full command?
Man, that says everything. That's why his teammates are confident in him. That's why I'm confident in him. That's why his coaching staff is, because that is something that he has done on his own with guidance from his quarterback coach, Coach Bevel. But you can feel that every day that he is. Coach Bevel has explained to him all sorts of stories of the players he's worked with coming in here this year. That wasn't something that I had heard Tua. That wasn't really his MO. Just to go ahead and go outside the framework of whatever the schedule is and really invest all in on your craft. He is doing that every single day. And it really shows in his play. That doesn't surprise me. I hadn't heard that, but he's really been doing that every single day at the beginning of the day before he gets the script, and that's why he's owning the offense and leading us well. So that we'll be in a good position to be what his teammates really need him to be week one. That's not very much, and it's a fine line. I'm not overreacting to it I'm not really one that is just black and white. All right, so you have a bunch of yards and you can run the ball, and you don't have any, you can't. There's really rushing yards. If you have one explosive, it can be super misleading. What I do know is that the last two opponents, this one a little bit more so than the other one, our players were caught off guard with something they hadn't seen on tape really. And in the NFL, you have to be able to do that. So I'm happy that there's no false sense of comfort level, really. It does raise the urgency for the offensive line, tight ends, and receivers blocking. But at the same time, I'm not panicked because, I would be more panicked if they were entering into something that we had totally prepared them for, and we still weren't able to displace people on the line of scrimmage and do things of that nature. So it's cause for your attention, but at the same time, there's no panic button. It's really, okay, can we learn from this? Now, the same thing happens next week. That will be more concerning for me. But I think the guys have a lot of pride, and we emphasize the run game a lot. So we obviously want more production than that, and that's what we expect from ourselves moving forward.
Injury-wise, what happened in the first half with Nick, Keon, and I think Igbinoghene left for the medical tent at some point as well?
Yeah, there was some dings. We had some hand injuries. There's nothing fatal, but in terms of long-term issues, on one occasion we had someone go back into the game. We had someone leave and stay out. I'll have more information tomorrow with all that, but they're in constant communication. There's nothing that we're overly concerned for in the long haul, which is a good thing for the Miami Dolphins.
What does Gesicki need to do to make sure that he can have as positive an impact on the team, the offense, during the entire season?
No, he was in a position to have a pretty good game, you can ask him like he was frustrated because he had a couple options. We rely on him, and we went to him, and he had a couple pretty good ops that he wasn't able to come up with the play. So that was, he needs to continue to do what he's doing, which is completely committing in the run and pass game to the offense. And he's a couple plays on the ball away from, having a really good game that he feels really good about. He knows that. I know that. It's one of the reasons why he was he stayed in the game, was because he was frustrated, and as a competitor, he knew he could make the plays that he didn't. So it's nothing. It's nothing out of the ordinary or nothing far from exactly what he's been doing. He just needs to continue to be diligent and not get frustrated when the ball doesn't bounce his way, or they get paid to, they hit him, he doesn't make a play on the ball. We all appreciate the fact that he's a competitor and he's not satisfied with touching the ball and not coming down with it. But as long as he approaches it, the player that he is, where he's very accountable, he will be fine. He'll be fine, and we'll all be better for it.
How would you evaluate the offensive line performance? What did you like or not like about it?
I thought that it was pretty solid in terms of they went out and they were trying to attack the defense as best they could. Again, there was just some stuff that really we didn't adjust to as well as I would have liked. At the same time, it's not all on them, really. There were some things that I did expect them to get, some things I'm not surprised that they didn't get. I'm not terribly the game was kind of taken out of their hands a little bit at the beginning with some of the stuff they were doing. We kind of had to transfer and do some drop back stuff, and I thought they protected the quarterback well enough where it was never a situation where they had to get rid of the ball too early. The tight ends got beat on a horrendous play call with Teddy in, but outside of that, I think it was a pretty safe, well-protected game from them. We just need to go look at the tape and understand, okay, well, when teams are pressuring us in the run game and their feet are like this, we need to adjust like this. And that's why it's a process, really, for all the run game stuff and protection I was pretty happy with. So we'll just keep working next week and see how good we can get for game one.
There he is, the head coach of your Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel. All right. We will go over some of his comments. We will also hear from Tua. I will do all of that after Omar Kelly. Omar Kelly has stepped in to the post-game show, and he's ready to go. So let's do it, baby. Our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins post-game report. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Heidi, there he is. How you feeling, man, on a beautiful Saturday night?
Good. Well rested.
Good. Yeah. Dolphins look pretty good overall. I thought run game was terrible. But miracles of God, they actually gave the quarterbacks time to pass the ball. Were you a little shocked on that? That was pretty good. It was several times they had pass protection.
I mean, who was playing for the Raiders? Let's put it all in perspective. This is preseason. Fundamentally, I would have liked to have seen, if there was anything I would have liked to have seen achieved during the preseason, it was them showing a respectable run game. We haven't seen it yet. So
No. And without Teron Armstead, and I'm sure the vanilla look, I think it's going to be hard because this is a misdirection line. And so if you're not really doing the misdirection stuff, you're not really doing the offense.
I don't know how misdirection benefits the run game, but I hear how it benefits the pass game, the play action element.
No, it benefits the run game because you get people out of place. Of course you do. Yeah.
No,
you
the wide zone gets people out of place and forces people to make decisions that don't necessarily put them in the right spot. But, they're running the wide zone. It's just not effective right now. And you can say, you can make whatever excuse you want to make about why.
There's no excuses. They're bad on run, but you can't take away it. You can't criticize run and then not compliment pass is my point. That's what you're doing right now.
I think a lot of that.
You cannot have it both ways.
No, I think you're not
can't
seeing
shit on them and say nobody's playing. And then you can't say, well, they can't run the ball.
I think you're not paying attention to the offense that they're running. And the offense that they're running isn't shotgun.
They're not running the offense, Omar.
No,
they're not running the offense. They're running something.
Like you want to argue about everything? I don't think that. Yes, they're not running the offense, but they're running a lot of play action and misdirection, which means, okay, you think we're going here, and the quarterback's really going there, and he's throwing. The field's cut in half, and he's either or. And I'm not saying that it's a bad offense because I love it. I've always favored that offense, but it doesn't necessarily lead to a quarterback being a sitting duck where a defensive lineman has to just beat his man and go get the quarterback. That's not how they play the game.
Well, no, but dude, the line isn't a sieve like it's been. There's at least that kind of progress going on right now.
Who has been on the field that they played?
Omar, it didn't matter if they were playing my grandmother last year. My grandmother would have busted that line and pressured
your comments are so premature. They have played nobody and done nothing.
No, but you're not going to say
all pass and run. Played nobody and done nothing.
Yeah, I know that, but you're going to say that they haven't at least looked better, like tonight. That they were better in pass pro.
Did they look like a major problem last preseason? No,
yes, pass pro.
They didn't.
No, pass pro was always a problem last year.
Okay.
All last year, they couldn't pass, they couldn't run. Nothing. Tua had no time.
I'm talking about in the preseason.
No time. They never had any time, Omar. The line last year never gave any quarterback.
Who was the third string quarterback last year? Can't remember his name. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's doing so well. He's flashing. He won."
You talking about Reed Sinnett? You talking about Reed Sinnett?
There you go, Reed Sinnett. Reed Sinnett won a fourth quarter game, and we got to keep him on the 53-man roster. Blah 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 blah. What Dolphin fans usually do. Offensive line wasn't a sieve last year. Now, when you got to the game, a real game that counted, Austin Jackson, like. I said he was a problem. Everybody's like, he'll be fine. He'll be good.
He's actually played all right now. He's a
lot better. He's a lot better. He's a lot leaner.
Yeah.
He's a lot more confident. He's a lot more technically sound. But bro, I'm not crowning them. They done nothing.
No, nobody's crowning anything, Omar.
Okay, then don't say that they've improved because they haven't. They haven't.
They have improved because you just Omar. How can you say that? Omar, how can you say they haven't improved when you just said Austin Jackson's a better player?
Austin Jackson's
how do you become a better player, Omar?
Alain is more than one person. Their center's still snapping the ball wild.
Hey, Connor was pretty clean today with the snapping. So you've got
the
improvement
snap.
there.
No. I
There
saw a lot
was
of high
only one
snaps.
snap that was kind of high, and that's it. But none of them were nothing crazy or anything over the head. It was solid. Austin Jackson.
It's never crazy over the head. It's just not where it needs to be.
It was just one. It wasn't real. I didn't notice any other ones. It was only one that was a little high. It's not the end of the world.
I wasn't keeping count.
My point is that people have made progress. They're actually making
individually
progress.
made progress. Has the unit made progress?
Omar, did you expect a clean product by the second week of the preseason? No. I mean, I'm not expecting.
When should I expect the clean?
I think maybe they figure out by halfway through the year, they figure out everything, running game and all. Yeah.
When should I expect the clean progress? Yeah, no, I said that from the beginning, and people got all in their feelings. Halfway through the year, your offense is going to get it and going to click. And your record is going to be what it is until you get to halfway through the year. But it's going to be a lot of growth.
So it's little steps.
A lot of growing pains.
I think they're making little steps. That's all I'm saying. No finished product. But today I saw at times the quarterbacks had time to smoke a cigar, and then they couldn't run the damn ball. So at least they could pass a little bit, but they couldn't run the damn ball. You know, that was terrible. That was horrible.
I'm not interested in giving them no. I saw the quarterbacks under duress. Teddy Bridgewater took a fourth down sack. He had no time against nobody.
Oh, that was his fault. He had to get rid of it. He has to know himself. He has no athleticism.
I mean,
throw it away, bro. Throw it away, bro. You have no athleticism.
Bridgewater's
you can't outrun anybody.
Savvy veteran quarterback. I know he knows he's got to get rid of it, but if you're under duress and don't have no time, you know,
he was out of the pocket, bro. He had to get rid of it. He had to get rid of it. He tried to outrun the guy, and he wasn't going to do that. Just throw it. You were already out of the pocket.
Talk about a different play. Like, yeah.
All right, so the third guy made the roster already, right? You've already finally got him on the 53?
He was on the 53 2 weeks ago. He's been after the first week, he started turning up. Tampa week, he's on the 53. He reminds me a lot of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. He has, well, I don't know if he'll, I don't know how far he'll get, but he does have a lot of talent that he could turn into more than what he is right
Absolutely.
now. But now they're screwed. Now they've showcased him too much that they've got.
I don't know if the plan was ever to cut them. Like, people have this impression that this Dolphins roster is really deep. It's not. It's very top heavy, and it's pretty mediocre and watered down. I have 45 players that belong on the 53-man roster. I got issues at defensive tackle, issues at cornerback, issues at wide receiver, issues at tight end, issues on the offensive line.
How can you have? They've got 5 receivers. How can you have an issue at 5?
Name the 5. Name the 5.
Zukama and Trent Sherfield with the other 3. Yeah, that's it. It's over. What are you talking about? Yes.
Uzukama is for Sherfield. All right, that's what you're doing.
I think so. Sherfield is 4, as Uzukama's 5. But if you at times you could use Uzukama if you want.
Uzukama is 3. Uzukama is 3.
Cedric is 3, dude. Cedric is 3. Just because you haven't seen him a lot in the preseason doesn't mean he's not 3.
I haven't seen him in practice. He's all right.
You haven't seen Waddle.
I seen him in practice. He'll be the slot receiver, but Uzukama's better than him. And with time and an investment.
How can you say that when this guy's already a proven wide receiver, dude?
Is he? He had half of a good season.
Well, obviously, that's a half more than anything anybody else has done on that team, pretty much.
Oh, listen,
right?
No, Preston Williams has way more of a resume than
Preston Williams has never been reliable.
Okay. Look at their stats. Preston Williams has way more of a resume and a body of work.
How can you even mention Preston Williams in any sentence at any time? Why should he even be mentioned right now? Period.
Because you're talking about what's his name's resume, and Cedric Wilson's resume, and I said Preston Williams has outperformed Cedric Wilson in his NFL career, and he's had a shorter career. But that's not like important or significant. I get the politics of the game. I get the money of the game. Lynn Bowden, I'm keeping over all the other guys, except for Uzukama.
Well,
Uzukama
has Lynn Bowden earned the 6th spot? Because that's what he's
No,
fighting
I'm
for.
giving him his 5th.
If they're actually going to keep a 6th guy.
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't keep a 6th guy, but Uzukama's my number 3. Cedric's my number 4. Not to say that they're going to play like that. And I'm Lynn Bowden. I'm not sure what you see.
Cedric as the 3rd guy last year, and I guess 3rd guy for sure. 45 receptions, 602 yards, 13.4 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns. Preston Williams has never done that in his dreams. Not forget reality. In his dreams, he's never done that.
Collectively, who's got more yards? Who's got more receptions?
By the way, he had another 17 the year before for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. The guy played only in 17 receptions. He has 2 touchdowns. You gave him 45. He's got 6 touchdowns. You noticing a trend there?
He plays for Dallas.
He's pretty productive.
Okay, who's got more yards and more receptions in their career?
Are you serious? Are you serious? Preston Williams, you're gonna make me look up.
You a question.
You're gonna make me look up Preston Williams stats in the regular season.
There you
go. Let's have some fun with this one.
Who's got more yards, more receptions, not touchdowns?
It's not even going to be close, my brother. Are you ready? Here we go. 428, 288, 71. He's got 787 in 3 years. That's just a little more than what he had in 1 year. And he's got a total of 7 touchdowns in 3 seasons. And he had the first 7 in the first 2 years. 3 and 4. He had none last year.
He had a crap year last year.
Right. So he has a total of 787 in 3 seasons, and this kid's only really played 2 seasons. Cedric Wilson.
Don't know.
And Cedric doesn't drop passes like this guy.
Oh my God.
And gets
Preston
injured
Williams
and all that.
Preston Williams has played 2 seasons. He didn't play last year. So
837. Yeah, and Cedric only has really 2 seasons accrued. His rookie year, he barely played. He has 837. So he has more receptions, more yards, and more touchdowns. And to compare those 2 guys, this guy's a professional. Nothing about Preston Williams has ever been professional, bro.
Fair. Touche. Listen, getting back to the conversation, Sherfield is practice squad. I'm keeping Lynn Bowden Jr. You cut Sherfield, ain't nobody lining up to claim him.
You haven't been impressed with him in practice at all?
He's okay. I'm impressed with Sanders more. He's okay. He's all right.
I think Braylon is on the practice squad.
Yeah,
I think he's definitely on the practice squad.
I don't see the appeal to Sherfield that you see, but the beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Okay.
Some guys like him slim, some guys like him thick.
But don't you think he helps also on special teams? 2-way player.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So is Bowden.
And knows the system.
So is Bowden. So is Bowden.
He's new to this system.
No, I'm talking about no. I didn't say he knows the system. I said he's a 2-way player. But
But what I'm saying is Sherfield has all those advantages. Experience, knows the system, is more of a seasoned receiver at this point in time. And special teams. Right?
I'm keeping talent.
All right. By the way, sneaky great draft this year. You don't think so? Tyndall, Azukama, Skyler, and Cameron Good.
Okay, really like Skyler. That. Cameron Good.
Cameron Good made this team.
I mean, he's gonna make the team on. He's gonna make the team on his draft status, but Cameron
No,
Good is
seventh rounders don't make teams automatically. That's not
bro.
true.
You
That's
act
not
like
fair.
this team is so deep. They're just oh my god.
You know,
How
but
are you
seventh
buying
rounders,
roster
but
spots?
seventh rounders don't automatically make it, Omar.
Miles Gaskin, yeah, they do. They generally do. Absolutely, they do.
If they make it, if they're
They do.
productive.
They do.
You don't like what you've seen from Cameron Good?
It's okay. If that's my standard, then I'm a pretty mediocre team.
For a seventh rounder? That's pretty
Bro,
good.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like
a guy that can pass rush
Malcolm
and play
Perry made the
linebacker.
team. Malcolm Perry made the team. Everybody thought he was going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Miles Gaskin made the team, starting running back. Jason Sanders made the team.
He played well. Miles Gaskin played well. That's why he made the team.
In his second year, he did not play well as a rookie. Isaiah Ford made the team. Seventh rounders. Thomas Duarte made the practice squad, did not make the team. Brandon Doty made practice squad, did not make the team. The year before that, Terrence Fede was on the team for a number of years.
Yeah, but practice squad is not making the team.
No, I didn't say that. Don Jones made the team.
You're saying making
Matthews
the team,
made
and
the
then you're
team.
sliding in practice squad with a bunch of those other
Rashad
guys.
Jones made the team. Don Jones made the team. Jimmy Wilson made the team. Austin Spitler made the team.
Did Austin Spitler really make the team?
Yes, he did. J.D. Folsom made the team. Lionel Dodson made the team.
Spitler doing anything,
Abraham Wright made the team. Like these guys are so old. I don't even. Derek Pope made the team. I don't know. Kevin Vickers, I believe he made the team.
Derek Pope was terrible.
It's seventh rounders. They make the team generally.
Derek Pope was terrible. Cameron Good's already shown me more than Derek Pope did. God, Derek Pope was terrible.
I can't even remember Derek Pope.
All right, satisfied with Tua's play today?
Brandon Fields made the team. Didn't even know he was a seventh rounder.
Brandon Fields was good.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying he made the team. Seventh rounders.
You're acting like they make the team just because they're seventh rounders. Some of those guys you talked about, they made the team because they're damn good.
And some of them
they made an impact.
And the majority of them were just guys.
So Tua, your grade today for Tua.
I didn't look bad. Didn't look good.
There was nothing really there today. It was there was a couple plays that he made out of nothing that was good when there was like it broke down and he had to scramble a little bit, but outside of that there wasn't anything excessive that we can celebrate about today. It was okay. It was solid. It wasn't bad overall. Is what
he's got to play solid to above for them to have a chance to make the playoffs.
Poupart thinks that next week there won't be a dress rehearsal. He thinks this was the dress rehearsal. He thinks after 2 days of practice with the Eagles, no dress rehearsal. What do you think? I think there will be a dress rehearsal.
I agree with Poupart. I think it's going to be. We don't know because Mike McDaniel's is doing it his way, and he's not really willing or able to commit to anything until he feels like. I feel like they had to get guys looks now and dust off the rust. But yeah, there's game 3 is going to be audition to see who makes the roster. That's my opinion.
Right. I think there will be a dress rehearsal, and I also think that I think most of the spots are already kind of set. I think you can make the 53 right now. Overall,
it's not a very good 53.
There's not a lot of surprises. Porter Gustin is one guy that's kind of surprising now to steal one of those last spots on the line. So I would imagine that he's one of those. You don't like him?
If that's your standard or that's what you want.
At the back end of the roster, he's done a nice job this year in training camp and preseason. He's done a nice job. Guy's making plays, dude.
Practice squad.
Okay. All right. Follow him on Twitter.
Your standard has to raise just a tad.
I'm not, dude. I can't ask for Christian Wilkins as my 5th or 6th defensive lineman. I would love to have a Christian Wilkins as my 5th or 6th defensive lineman, Omar, but that's just not the way it goes.
He's not. He's not really
Porter, and by the way,
lineman.
who's to say that Porter Gustin doesn't turn into Zach Sealer, part 2? How do you know he doesn't turn into part 2? Because he's doing exactly what Zach Sealer did when he got here. Same shit. I'll play every game. I'll play every practice. You got to say the name Porter Gustin in every practice and in every game. That sounds like Zach Sealer to me.
Damn, this is an old roster. I'm like looking for him. This is an old, super old roster.
That's how prepared he is, folks. He's got the old roster. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. What are you working on I Am Athlete? Because I can't, promote the Sunset anymore.
We've got episode Monday coming out with a hitmaker music producer who's Young Berg. He's a Grammy Award winning producer. He used to be a rapper named Young Berg. Something that sports fans wouldn't find interesting, but people who like and enjoy music would.
I've noticed that rappers and horses, they all have the funniest and screwed up names that there is out there. You go to horse racing and you go look at all the names of the horses, and there's some funky ass names. And I got to tell you, when it comes to rappers, there's so many of them, they come up with some funky names too. Horse racing and rappers, they've got the most colorful names out there.
So Metallica and Def Leppard.
No.
And
no, that's not fun.
Limp Bizkit.
No, it's not fun. Oh, Limp Bizkit might be a little bit more fun. That one might be.
I'm just saying.
But horse racing names and rappers, they have the best names. Best names in sports. And I mean in music and in life and whatever. Horse racing and rappers.
Pearl Jam.
That's no fun. That's no fun. Little Yachty is fun. That's
because
fun.
Little is on the top of everything.
Well, whatever.
I don't know why everybody wants to be Little.
It doesn't matter. It's still rappers have the funky names out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it is. And horse racing too. The horses, they have the best names also. I'm telling you that nobody spends more time coming up with colorful names than rappers and horse racing.
Well, this should interest you. I brought Miko Grimes into the I Am Athlete family. We did a show together on Friday. So when you're the boss, you can do these things. You can unleash the beast.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. There you go. All right. So she comes on with the new episode?
No,
or on the line?
I Am Athlete Tonight, the radio show on Sirius.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nah.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
Not the I Am Athlete podcast, the radio show, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, channel 82.
Okay. You smooth out everything with the Dolphins, or did they kick out I Am
Athlete?
Wow,
you really bringing that up? Listen, I'm not discussing that publicly. I take ownership for the fact that it happened because
I saw like a bunch of dudes flying out of the whole facility, and it was like, and I was like, what happened? Oh, they had Jason Sanders kick the entire I Am Athlete crew out of the building.
We didn't get.
And if there's one guy that can kick all your asses out of the building, it's Jason Sanders. So yeah.
No, we didn't get kicked out. That's not what happened. And we're just fine. We are just fine.
Right, so you smoothing everything out. Okay. All right.
I'm not smoothing nothing out. That's my boss. That my boss calls the shots.
Okay. All right.
And he knows how to handle himself.
Okay. All right. You're just lucky Harvey Green wasn't in the building. Anyway, follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly.
And the next day they had Jake Paul there. Catching passes from Tua.
No, dropping passes from Tua.
Oh, okay.
Dropping passes.
The video just made it seem like,
Yeah,
passes.
You can do anything with editing.
So the Dolphins know how to act when it's not a former player who was a two-time Pro Bowler and basically the franchise player that you marketed for 2 years. They know how to act then.
Yeah, but Jake Paul, I to see them even entertain that was just Just a joke.
It's,
but whatever.
It's a new
It
day,
is.
brother. It's a new day. New day,
I
new
know.
media.
I know. You got enough followers, you can do it.
You're part
All
of
right.
new media too, so you.
Oh,
listen.
yeah, definitely.
So
But,
you can't even talk.
Some tells me I'll never be on the field catching passes from Tua. Some tells me that I won't have that. I won't have that luxury. All right. Anyway, Lupe Fiasco. We'll see you. We'll see you next week.
I hate Lupe Fiasco. Why would you call
Yeah,
him
but
Lupe?
what a name! What a name! Lupe Fiasco. It's freaking awesome.
Whack
There's
artist.
no rock band like that. See, Lupe
Oh,
Fiasco.
you kidding me? I can name 5 rock bands, and I don't even know rock.
Not fun like that. Not like Lupe Fiasco. No.
All right.
Lupe and then Fiasco. How do you mix that?
What does Lupe mean? I don't think it means anything.
I don't know, but I know what a fiasco is.
Okay, he should have just called himself Fiasco.
That's what I'm trying to say. What the hell is a Lupe Fiasco? It's amazing. Yeah. What's a Wu-Tang Clan? See, that's badass. That's badass right there.
All right.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. You can't beat this shit, bro.
We got a lot of rap names.
Rapper's Delight. You can't beat this shit, dude.
Salt and Pepper.
Right. Only horse racing. I'm telling you. Rappers and horse racing. That's it. The horses and the rappers have the best names. I'm telling you. Anyway, that's your homework. We'll catch up next week.
All right, man.
Omar's going to look into horse racing. He's going, wow, he's right. That is your EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
We thank Omar Kelly and all his negativity about the Dolphins. He can't give anybody any love. It's just truly amazing. And some of you out there, like, I don't expect the whole thing with, I don't expect this offense to be a finished product right now. But damn, I have some patience to give it some time to develop, man. Victor Huertas. Que vuelta, Victor. Big O, what happened with IAA getting kicked out? What's IAA? Oh, I am athlete. Apparently they ruffled some feathers there. I just want to have some fun with it. I'm not going to elaborate too much on it. But yeah. So they had to smoothen things out. I think half of Omar's job is going to be, Omar probably should have gone to fireman school, because it seems like that's what he's going to be doing, is putting out some fires. Some fires. All right. Do we have two out there? True Fin fan chiming in. Omar's mission to go against everything you say. Tired of this guy. All right, let's pull up Tua Tagovailoa. He addressed the meteors. So let's bring that up.
That's not to take away, the fact that they did really good for us in this preseason game. So, we didn't accomplish what we wanted to, but that doesn't outshine what a lot of the younger guys were able to do towards the ending for us.
Was it important to you to get these preseason snaps in?
Yeah, I'm hoping I get to play in the Eagles game as well. As a competitor, that's, I think anyone in the locker room wants to do that. I know Tyreek wanted to go out there, X wanted to go out there, and I also know Melvin Ingram wanted to go out there, but Coach had to shut those guys down. But that's kind of the locker room that we have. Guys wanting to be out there, but coaches protecting them from themselves. So I wanted to play more snaps in this game, but Mike said that was it. It was good for a preseason game. It got pretty loud. When there were situational deals going on when it was third down or when we needed to convert on a third down. We could really hear them. But, for the most part, I think it was pretty cool. And these guys are just excited to see the nuances to the team, a lot of new faces, they want to see what Mike has done to our team. There's a lot of hype going around our team because of what Mike has, done, for this organization with how he is as a person, and then obviously all the comments with our other players. But it was really cool.
Tua, they showed on CBS how many hours before the game you were kind of out there by yourself, going through some things. Can you kind of help us understand what you were trying to accomplish and what that exercise was like for you?
Yeah, well, for me, I'm just trying to picture the operation of how, I want the offense to operate. So I'm looking at the play call, saying the play call out, getting the motions. If a certain person is not where they're supposed to be defensively, then that's an opportunity to exert all the adjectives as far as, getting us into the right play. And so for me, that's what my practice is every time that I go out there is, okay, if we run this play, what could stop that play? If we run this play, what can stop that play? And then going through my entire progression, if it's a pass play, if it's a play action play, if it's a run play, understanding I have to carry out my fakes, just all the little details, I would say. That's what I try to do.
How impressed were you with Skyler Thompson, just his development over camp and what he's been able to do in these 2 games?
I've been extremely impressed with Skyler. Skyler handled the Tampa game extremely well, and then now he comes in a little later into the third quarter, gets his group going, has, I don't even know how many plays he had. He probably had like a 10-play drive leading up to the score that we had, our first, score that we had here at Hard Rock for this 2022 season. But I think he's handled it extremely well. He gave us an opportunity to kick a field goal, to win the game. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, but, I think he's done an extremely great job for us.
We had a chance to talk with Mike Gesicki in the locker room. He acknowledged that it's kind of a tough transition from last year's offense to this year. As a leader on this team, do you get this year a little bit to help you this out?
Yeah, and I think for Mike, Mike knows his abilities, and Mike isn't one to kind of, just kind of ponder on it, and just, think on it. Obviously, Mike's a competitor. Mike came to me into the locker room and was kind of telling me what I seen, and obviously the pass that happened, he was kind of telling me what he was going through with their press man. They kind of had man lurk with the backside safety dropping into pretty much rob whoever the third guy is. But I think for the most part, Mike did a great job. Just, we're going to be able to put it all together, and I know Mike knows that.
Skyler said that on the last 2-minute drive, he's talking to Mike on the sideline, he threw a joke in there. So, is that what it's, is that his understanding of, liking the moments, or did that stop?
For Skyler?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty cool. I never thought, wow. Oh, I guess Skyler's getting comfortable, huh? I never knew Skyler to be, Oh, Mike threw it. Oh, okay. Yes. Then yes. That is much more believable than Skyler telling Mike's, a joke. Much more believable. Skyler's more ask a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. Please, what is information that I can use when I go out there? Hey, did they do this? Did they do that? And he just wants to learn. So with you saying he was joking, I thought you said he was joking, but.
How unique is that for a coach, a head coach, to understand that moment though for that guy? Is that Mike?
That is Mike. Yeah, I would say that's Mike. And we're talking about McDaniels, right? Yeah. that's definitely Mike. Go ahead.
Tonight's it was 2 series, but sort of a benchmark in the progression until week 1, like something you had to check the box getting out there on the field.
I would not necessarily. Obviously we want to be able to simulate, game-like practices, but nothing simulates the actual thing. So just me being able to go out there with the first string O-line, we all need that. As you can see, we're a little rusty when we went out there, but it's nothing that a little film can't help. But I think it's going to be good, and I hope we get another opportunity to go out and play a couple series next week too.
What's your thoughts on the run game tonight? Not a lot of yards rushing at first.
Yeah, well, I'd say for us offensively, and I'm sure this is how it is around the league, but we don't have, we have basic run calls being called out there, basic play pass calls, basic, passing game calls. It's not necessarily a game plan for us out there. So I don't look at our run game, tonight as something to be discouraged about. It is what it is. We only had what calls we had, and that's what that was. So, all right, thanks, guys.
All right, that is Tua Tagovailoa. By the way, I thought he didn't work hard enough. I thought he played too much golf and stuff. So he's out at 2 in the afternoon, 2:30, out there simulating and visualizing the plays and going through it all. And it's interesting how narratives are formed, and that was something that was, think about it. So he's going to play for Saban and he's going to be lazy. So he's going to play for Saban and he can't take hard coaching. These are things that come out of it, And so Joe Shad, by the way, was the guy that pointed that out in the press conference with McDaniel. And then it was brought up again with Tua. And then Tua was explaining how he's kind of visualizing the plays and making the play calls and all those kind of things. And Peyton Manning used to do those kind of things also, by the way, the visualization of plays and formations. And I think Dak Prescott does some of that too. And it's just one of those things. It's another way that they use to kind of prepare themselves. But for those people that think that this guy is just like a half-assed dude, when he comes from a background and a family that they cherish work ethic. That's kind of what it's all about. And so you were an All-American coming out of high school. You were an All-American and a top 5 pick in college. And so all of a sudden under Flo, oh no, it's this guy doesn't work hard. No, it's not that, dude. It's that you didn't want him around. And so then you started to create every kind of narrative, and he knew that you didn't want him around. And so it's hard for him to be part of something that he's not wanted. I read this story earlier in the week about Hollywood Brown, and he was talking about how at Arizona it's different for him. When he was in Baltimore, he didn't feel wanted. He didn't feel like he was a part of the offense because they run like crazy. If you're a wide receiver, it's a lone. You're like the Maytag guy as a wide receiver in the Ravens. And so these are things that it gets to a point where you see the storylines that are put out there, and they're just not accurate. And this is a kid that is willing to go the extra mile, and he's doing all the other things. That's the other thing this week. I was talking with Beasley, or kind of arguing with him about the whole Tua thing. He goes, "Oh, I know you're a Tua guy." So right away, that's it. That's it. I must be wrong. You know what I mean? And so he was talking about, well, like he needs to ingratiate himself more and all that. I'm like, well, he goes out with his teammates, isn't he? Isn't he paying for it? Isn't he going out on with the Uber and everything with them? Isn't he going to Tyreek's house? Isn't Tyreek coming to his house? So players are coming to his house. He's on Tyreek's podcast. He's holding workouts in the offseason. I'm sorry. What more do you want from the kid? But the narrative is that he doesn't work hard at that either. And it's not true. And that's been the problem, that there's been so much FUD out there that it really has clouded who he actually really is. And today was another one of those examples, because it's great that that comes out, because you got plenty of people that are always going to be against the kid. And they believe some of the bullshit that's out there. But then again, you know, people fall for a lot of things nowadays. What are you going to do? We don't need the other things. Oh, I just need the dubs. Well, hopefully, Domi, that is coming. Romulo says, Tua is the man. If you don't think so, you are not paying attention. Reggie Mole says, Omar is negative. Can he say anything positive about the team? You know, sometimes it's like pulling teeth out of the guy. Like with Poupart, he mentioned the positives all the time. And he'll tell you the negatives too, but at least he'll mention the positives. And it is like pulling teeth out of Omar to get the positives. I don't understand why. I think it's pretty simple. Like today, the offensive line, dude, give them credit. They were pass blocking. Did they run block? No, they sucked at run blocking. They were horrible at run blocking. But damn it, I'm not going to just dismiss their pass blocking. That's just not fair either. You know, it's just not right. There were times where all the quarterbacks had a world of time to make a decision. Give the guys some love, man, when they do deserve it. Look, we're all going to struggle in life, and we're all going to screw up. But damn, dude, when we do something right, I hope Omar's not this tough on his kid. I hope when the kid does good things, you want to build on those kind of things, and you want to instill some positivity into the youngin. I hope he's doing that, man. All right. Any other questions you guys got out there for me? By the way, we went 28-14-1 now in our liquor split matchup of the night. We gave you Inter Miami today, minus half a goal. I didn't want to take the Marlins or the Dodgers. I know that they were getting killed. I don't know what the latest score is, but I know it was like 7-0 the last time I checked in the Marlins game. That thing was just an absolute annihilation. It should be close to done now. Top of the ninth, 7-0 Dodgers. That's bad. But anyway, Toronto loses to Inter Miami 2-1. Jean Mota had un golazo. And nice job by Igbinoghene weaving through traffic and setting him up. And then the Lassiter goal was just beautiful string of passes and led to Lassiter in the box, and he was able to put it down and put it in, and that was just absolutely awesome. So Inter Miami wins. We told you to lay half a goal. We end up 28-14-1. Well, tomorrow the Marlins wrap up their set against the Dodgers. Why don't we give you our liquor split matchup of the night?
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
4-10, Sandy Alcantara is on the mound, 11-5 with a 1.92 ERA. Ryan Pepiot, or Pepiot, is it Pepiot? I think it's Pepiot. Ryan Pepiot is 1-0 with a 4.26 ERA. Dodgers are favored by 1.5 runs in this one. The over and under is 7.5 runs. The Marlins are plus 145 on the money line, and the Dodgers are minus 175 on the money line. This one's pretty simple. I'm going to go with Sandy. I'm going to go with the revenge game. And you know what I mean by revenge? The last time he was there, Well, they gave somebody else to start in the All-Star game, which, by the way, I really have no problem giving Clayton Kershaw to start in the All-Star game because it was in LA. He's earned it. He's one of the great pitchers of this era. So I totally understood it. If it was in Miami, Sandy would have to get the start. But we all know deep down inside, Sandy deserved the start. So tomorrow will be his All-Star game start, and he's going to go out there and put together one hell of an outing. But here's the problem. I'm not picking the Marlins for the win here because I don't know if he's going to get run support. But I am hoping that the Marlins, they struggle to score runs. Sandy, well, you're going to struggle to score runs on him. I'm going under 7.5 runs right here. Dodgers and Marlins tomorrow to wrap up the set in LA at 4:10. That is your liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download then tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
Beautiful thing, yes. Mole, Reggie Mole, thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. Thank you all out there. Let me go through the final questions here. Rosendo says, good evening, Big O. So far, there's only one player who has impressed you during this preseason game, and which player has disappointed you? I have to go with Noah Igbinoghene, man. I was hoping that I'd see something out of the young man, and he had a couple glimpses this week in practice, and I just didn't see anything. And Poupart nailed it. He just is playing too soft. He is a tortured young man who, put it this way, Austin Jackson talks about confidence and plays with it and looks the part right now. Noah Igbinoghene can talk about it, but does not play enough with it. And Noah has to, and I think the coaches talked about it, Mike McDaniel, and he also talked about it that he talked with Noah. He's got to let it rip. And the kid is not letting it rip. And he's not letting his instincts take over. He's not letting his athleticism take over. And that's the problem. And that's becoming, and that's why he's not getting where he needs to go. He's got the ability, but he's got to let it go. He needs to really talk to Terrell Buckley and learn how to let it go and open up and find out if he can play or not. If he's going to stay in this conservative mode, he's got no shot at ever making this team. And he might make this team this year one more year only because he's a first rounder and they want to give him one more shot. But he has not earned a goddamn thing. I give him credit for being a professional. I give him credit for having mental toughness and not losing his crap. But unfortunately, Noah Igbinoghene is not doing what he needs to do. And you know how Marino tells Tua, pick a guy and let it fly? Well, then he's just got to say, he's got to go booger in risky business. For you youngins, that's your homework. Tom Cruise, Risky Business. You're more than welcome, by the way. That's a fun movie. But Booger says in that movie, sometimes you got to say, what the F? You remember that? Those of you that watched that movie? I feel like watching that movie right now. Anyway, at Subway, Rebecca De Mornay. I digress. Anyway, so he's got to say, what the F? And let it go, dude. And give yourself a chance. Because Noah Igbinoghene is not giving himself a chance to make the team. He's guaranteeing himself he will never be successful at this level playing quarterback. That's what he's guaranteeing himself. And listen, man, he's walking that plank, and he's getting closer to that edge. That's the player that I'm really disappointed in because he has every opportunity to succeed right now. You got an injury to a player, and the other player, X, they've given him plenty of time off. So you're getting all the PT to shine, dude. You get every opportunity that the spotlight is on you to justify your draft pick, and you just can't do it. So, yeah. That's the guy. That's the guy that I'm really disappointed in. But overall, there's way too many positives. And so I'm not gonna, kill myself about it. But you ask me, that's the one player that I have to say. It's a real shame, man. This is why I'm worried about the first 4 games. We got to execute better. Why are you worried about the first 4 games? Didn't they beat the Patriots twice? And I think they're a better offense this year. And they got a better coaching staff offensively. 0 blitz. I'm sorry. So you think Lamar Jackson figured out the 0 blitz? Because it's coming. So that's 2 games. Cincinnati Bengals. Well, if your 2 corners are healthy, they got a great receiving core, maybe the best in the NFL. But if you have your 2 corners healthy, maybe you got a shot. The Bills game, okay, I could chalk that one up to a loss. Bills are the better team. This shit about, I'm scared about the first 4 games. Why? No, I'm not playing that game. No way. No way. All right, we are out of here. We thank Sean Stanley, as always, putting it together as he always does. Omar Kelly, Alain Poupart doing great work. And in their insight, we thank all of you for tuning in, sending in a super chat, Cash App. Remember Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Always appreciate it. Thank you all. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Very, very important. And subscribe to our second channel, Big O Show Cuts. And I've been talking with Sean about that at Big O Show Cuts. We're going to start adding crypto talk there, and we're going to start adding some music talk there. So I may do all of a sudden, I may go live and start doing some music talk. And I'll go for 10, 20, 30 minutes, and I'll do some talk on music, or it could be on crypto and a specific crypto. So we may even change the name of that channel to Big O Show Crypto Cuts and Music. I don't know, something like that. But sign up to our second channel, and there's going to be live programming on it. I told you. So check it out. We are out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Well, we'll see you Monday, same time, same place, same bat channel. Go Fins, baby. Go Inter Miami. Playoffs. See ya on Monday. Be good.